I'm reminded of, as we come together on again, preparing for another MLK Day of Service and all the great work Todd has done over the last 24 years. I'm reminded of the Martin Luther King quote that the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice. What I originally thought when I heard that statement the first time was that somehow, just naturally, the universe bends to justice. But in my time of working here and doing work in power, I recognize that he simply meant the universe is bendable. It depends on us to bend it toward justice. And so all of the work that we do is trying to bend this part of the moral universe over Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, this part of the moral universe to bend it to justice. And we do it when we stand up for fair wages for workers in the city. We do it when we stand up for fair education funding for our schools, because Philadelphia still loses $400 million each year that should be going to its public schools that is not, and we have to bend the universe so that we finally get the dollars that we deserve. We have to stand up against for criminal justice reform because we're still the most incarcerated city in the nation. We have to stand up for economics because we still have 26% of our city living in poverty and over 14% living in deep poverty. And that means that as we serve and work on MLK Day, we do much more than simply do the work of service. Because we can go in and paint every school. We can go in and clean every street. We can go in and sweep out every block. But we will still have the same problems until our institutions, until our public policy is changed in a way so that we don't even have to do that anymore. That we can stand together and work together and believe together that those kinds of things will be done as a part of the institutions that we have created. So we stand here together and dedicate ourselves to that. We work together, we believe together, we hope together, and we dream together for that better day when this universe is bent completely toward justice. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Reverend Holston. As you're going to be hearing more today with a number of different elements, our theme is going to be around young people and confronting gun violence, working with communities and finding solutions towards peace. We have a number of partners who have been with us on this. I want to invite two of them to come forward and to say a few words. Ceasefire PA is a statewide organization that works with elected officials and mayors, police chiefs, communities of faith, and others to work to prevent gun violence. They have long been engaged on the front lines every day. We're pleased that they've been a major partner with us. So I'd like to ask their executive director, Shira Goodman, to come up and speak.
Good morning. Thank you so much, Todd and Global Citizen. At Ceasefire PA, we're so pleased that this year's theme is young people confronting gun violence. We know we have a problem. The young people know it. And as was just said by two speakers ago, we have to listen to them. So I was in Washington yesterday for the introduction of a new bill, but here's a secret that you all know. Washington and Harrisburg are not coming to save us. We need to do it. Philadelphia has a problem, and we need to come together. And part of what is going to happen on the 21st is creating a space to listen to young voices, to listen to old voices, to have this conversation. We're so pleased to be part of it. We're so grateful to Todd and Global Citizen for having this vision to bring us together to have this conversation. Because no one is safe until we're all safe. And at Ceasefire PA, our mission is to take a stand against gun violence, and we're so happy to be doing that with you and to honor the legacy of Dr. King. So Hopefully, we'll have amazing conversations starting but not ending on the 21st, and we're excited to hear from the kids who will be speaking that day. Thank you.
Last February 18th, 2018, the country was rocked yet again by another mass shooting, this one in Parkland, Florida, at the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School. That was the tragic news. The positive aftermath was that young people started organizing, particularly from Stoneman Douglas, to say this is enough, and we're not just going to yell about it, we're actually going to go out and do something. And out of that came a myriad of organizations associated with March for Our Lives. And one of our great partners in this effort this year is the March for Our Lives chapter here in Philadelphia. And I'd like to ask Sarita Lewis, their executive director, to say a few words. Sarita?
Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for coming out and helping us to just really jumpstart the activities for March for Our Lives, for Martin Luther King Day of Service. We just want to say thank you for coming out and supporting the voice that these children have, and also providing them a space where they feel empowered. We have been partnering with Global Citizen, Ceasefire PA, and a number of other organizations throughout this past year to really bring the voice of our children to the city and make sure that everybody around here understands what they're going through, and also helps them to do the things necessary so that they feel safe again, where they are not going to feel worried about leaving school. They're not going to worry about coming into school and having to say, oh my gosh, what's going to happen now? Because that's basically their life on a daily basis. So we just wanted to thank you again for being a part of this. We have developed some really amazing activities for the actual day of service, and we're looking forward to you all coming and joining us on that day.
Thank you, Sarita. One of our other partners in this is the Dreamline program of Cloud Cloth Education, which I'll have a little bit more to say about when we go to the other room. But Jeff Harlan is here, and he's been an extraordinary partner in this effort. Another great tradition, one of my favorites here, is working with Mural Arts Philadelphia, with Jane Golden and her amazing colleagues. And it's an opportunity for young people, it's always been an opportunity for young people to express themselves in painting murals, kind of coinciding with our overarching theme. So this year is no different. I'm really looking forward to this. I would like to introduce Jane, who is going to talk about the project. They will unveil the mural for the first time, and we will hear from one student from each of the schools to share what it meant for them to paint this wonderful mural. With that, Jane Golden.
Hi, everyone. How are you? This is such an exciting day. I love it. And we've been doing this for years. How many years? And I'm always excited. It just never changes. So thank you, Todd Bernstein. Thank you, Global Citizen. Thank you, Girard College. This is such an awesome place. And what about that choir? Can we have a round of applause for Art? It's awesome. So each year, we select a particular theme connected to Dr. King, and we ask students from schools around the region to interpret this, right? To interpret a theme, an idea, his writings. We want young people to look at history and then create a visual representation of it. But it's not just history, it's the issue. And I think that we have a big responsibility as it relates to Dr. King. We are the keepers of his flame, his legacy. And it's kept by all of you and the city and everyone across this country. We need to hold on to it. And we want students to reflect on Dr. King, his core values, his beliefs, his words. And then we want them to think about the world today. We don't want them to think that he is someone just from the past. He is relevant. He resonates with us now. At Mural Arts, we believe that art can ignite change. We think that art has a social power, so everything we do, from our work in schools and prisons and detention centers and hospitals and communities throughout Philadelphia, we use art for a social and civic purpose. And we want young people to understand that through art, there is power, that they can inspire, they can uplift, they can challenge us, they can connect us to the larger world. This year, the students had a particular assignment, and that was to imagine and depict our city and our nation where young people play important leadership roles, where they advocate for a safer world, and they help solve seemingly intractable problems. Let's think about what young people have done. The political courage and leadership that young people in Florida took, they took on the gun lobby. It's like inspiring. But there's a tradition of this. In 1963, young people in Birmingham, Alabama were trained in nonviolence as a method to promote social justice. Let's think about Paris or Mexico or Brazil in 1968, Soweto in 1976, Seattle in the 90s, Prague in 1968, or the Arab Spring of 2011. Young people have often led the resistance against injustice or fought for progressive change. In Florida, that cycle of shootings, thoughts, prayers, and rage was broken by impassioned and uncompromising demand for gun control triggered by young people. It was awesome and fantastic and inspiring. History has shown us again and again that young people and students have the ability to expose a crisis and challenge it. They can be the important spark for the broader struggles, stronger than the flame itself. I absolutely believe that after working with young people for 30 years. And what is even better is that the systemic threat that young people pose, it's one of contagion. It's that their energy and their passion will touch and impact others with leverage, with energy, and with hope. Of the victory against segregation in Birmingham, the historian Taylor Branch wrote, "Never before was a country transformed, arguably redeemed, by the active moral witness of school children." At the time, we might have thought that was an aberration or an isolated event, but the arc of history, contemporary history, has shown us wrong. It happens again and again and again, and it will continue to happen. So let's welcome our students, our scribes, our historians, our artists, to help us remember Dr. King on this wonderful day. By celebrating Dr. King, we remind ourselves to think about the greater good, our shared humanity, and to remember that healing the world is a common task. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, and now let's see the art. Woo! So first, we'd like to introduce Jasmine Vu, who worked with the artist Paris Stancel from the Rosa International Middle School.
So far, our society has come a long way from racism and hate, but it's not enough. There's still gun violence, and that needs to change, starting with schools. The second thing we wanted to talk about was how my generation is holding the future of the world in our hands. What we do now represents our future. The responsibility passed down from older generation falls on us, and it's up to us to get rid of all the hate and violence in the world, which is represented by the children holding up the world. We hope to make the future a bright place with love and without hate.
Thank you very much. It's really beautiful. Love it. Okay, and now we would like Yazi Stein to come up. Yazi worked, the school is the Jack and Barak Hebrew Academy, and the teaching artist was Doug Woodsey. Yazi.
Today, as a society, we have started to listen and look to our youth to lead. Through peaceful protests, the younger generations have proven to have a voice of leadership and reason that demands social justice. Though this seems particularly apparent today, due to an age of continuous and open communication through technology, this passion and advocacy of American youth has always been prominent. In our piece, we wish to highlight the parallels and fluidity between generations of young peaceful protesting, from fighting segregation in the Birmingham Children's Crusade of 1963 to the student activists demanding change at the Stoneman Douglas High School in 2018. We may not have a vote, but we have a voice, and we demand to be listened to. We are bold, we are bright, and we are here to say that this is enough. Thank you.
Okay, are you inspired? I am, for sure. Okay, and now we would like to introduce Nasir Thomas. The teaching artist is Priscilla Bell, and the school is the Robert Morris School. Nasir.
We represent Robert Morris School. We are against gun violence because it is harmful to the citizens of our community. We chose to show Dr. Martin Luther King on the front of our panel because he is against gun violence and for peaceful demonstration. We used our hands to show that we're against gun violence together. With the hashtags that we used on the mural are important because they reflect us as a community. People have different opinions and that sometimes lead to gun violence, which hurts our citizens. Our mural panel shows that together we can and will work together to fight any kinds of violence despite any differences of opinions. We are so happy to be a part of this celebration. Thank you.
Thank you, Nasir, and the panel is really beautiful, and it makes a wonderful centerpiece. Okay, and now I would like to introduce Thelma Davies, who worked with the teaching artist Paris Stencel and is from Girard College.
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Thelma Davies, and I'm a senior at Girard College High School. My group and I are honored to be in this program. While reading the speech and topic, the words nonviolent justice caught our eyes the most. We began brainstorming ideas for the mural to complement these words perfectly. While brainstorming, we talked about nonviolence in the streets of Philadelphia and came up with ideas to help our communities use nonviolence. Sorry. We didn't want to just complete the task of creating a mural, but we wanted it to reflect how we felt. We all contributed individual perspectives of the overall topic, including our personal encounterments and opinions. On our mural, there's wordings that came from my diary. I wrote it when my friend Christian Marche died. He was murdered the day before going off to college. So this really means a lot to me personally because the violence in Philadelphia is really bad, and the nonviolence in Philadelphia is really bad, and our African-American males, anyway, African males in general, we really are targets from police and each other. So this really is showing how we feel and how I felt when he died. It was really heartbreaking for me. And we just all use our individual inputs to help create this mural, and thank you.
Thank you, Thelma. You are courageous and fearless, and I know you inspired everyone here today, so thank you. And now I want to introduce our last speaker, Shahid Mohammed. The teaching artist was Paris Stencel from Al-Aqsa Academy.
Hi, good morning. My art's mural is about new growth of humanity and growing all together, new generations taking the lead. Even though Martin Luther King isn't with us today, his dream still lives on. Today we are here to remember it. Today is a new day. Today we live to be better. Today we are yearning for the younger generation to lead us on. Violence is killing our society. All we ask is for equality. We respect his teachings and we will keep on preaching. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. And Art ignites change.
Thank you so much, Jane. Thank you, student artists. This is absolutely incredible. With that, we're moving to the next phase. Please welcome Heather Wathington.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Todd. A little short, so I'm going to adjust it. I am so humbled. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's so exciting to have you here. I'm humbled to join such a long-standing tradition here in Philadelphia. We're really proud to be a part of this. And I couldn't be in better company with Mayor Kenny, Dr. Haidt, Ms. Jordan, Ms. Reverend Holston, Ms. Golden, Mr. Golderer, and of course, Todd Bernstein, our very own champion of change. It's an honor to welcome you into our walls and to join you in partnership with an event that has meant so much to so many. This is Girard's 10th year of hosting this event, and we're delighted to be the signature site of the largest MLK Day of Service in the country. It's exciting to bring the Philadelphia community of doers and dreamers together with Global Citizen each year to serve and to reach forward. As we embrace this year's of service, I'm so delighted to hear so many speakers and to hear from the students. We try and focus as much as we can on our young people here at Girard and urge them to dream and speak about a world without gun violence. Dr. King said there is more power in socially organized masses than there are guns in the hands of a few desperate men. And as we listen to our students and encourage them to dream and act as Dr. King did, we endeavor to educate them to have the skills to make those dreams possible. Our students have never known a world without gun violence, but we are committed to empowering them to activate the solutions that bring peace to the violence that we see. Dr. King's life of action informs us, but his dreams certainly sustain us. Girard's core values of respect, compassion, responsibility, self-discipline, and integrity serve as a roadmap here to guide our students toward realizing those dreams ahead. I am so proud to represent our students as we celebrate Dr. King's legacy, and I hope and honored to stand alongside so many valued partners who share our commitment and our desire for a world of brotherhood, cooperation, and peace. So we thank you. I would like to ask Todd to come back to the stage and to really thank him for the partnership that we have endured for the 10 years and the amazing work that you do. We're delighted to stand along with you. Thank you.
Thank you again, Heather, and A.J. Ernst, who is here, who we've been working with day to day. Rich from facilities management, so many people who really work hard to make this a reality. I want to thank all our partners, our amazing sponsors, 50-plus sponsors led by Wells Fargo, who do amazing work in the community, and you'll hear from them in a few minutes. I say this with all sincerity. I cannot be more indebted to our amazing staff at Global Citizen. They're working day and night. It's not easy, but it's worth every minute of it. Led by my colleague Campbell Bird over there. And Yoon Kim, where are you? Where are you? Where is she? Put your hand up, stand up, right there. And Amanda Haynes Rose, where are you? Where are you? In the back. So thank you. We've got a while to go until we get this done, but it's all worth it every minute. We have so many partners, and I can't mention all of them, so I won't. But we have a number of people. Maureen Eccleston, who's traveled down from Harrisburg from the Governor's Office of Citizen Service. PennServe is here with us today. We enjoy amazing support from the fire department, which will have all 63 firehouses engaged on King Day. City or Greater Philadelphia has been an amazing partner, and you see them all the time in their red jackets. One day at a time. Who dat? That's right. Who dat? All right. They are in the house. Ready, Willing, and Able has been an incredible support to us. So we are just so appreciative. I'm really here in many ways today to announce that in 12 days, Philadelphia again will be the center of this growing movement of embracing Dr. King's legacy through activism and action, when we expect to have more than 150,000 volunteers serving in 1,800 projects. And it's not too late to sign up. If you want to volunteer, if you're an individual, a family, a group of any kind, if you go to our website at mlkdayofservice.org or call our office at 215-851-1811, either as a volunteer or to create a project, and we can also match folks to help you. Girard College, again, in the 10th year, we will have 4,000 to 5,000 people here doing a range of hands-on projects, workshops, trainings, a kids carnival, a health and wellness fair, a jobs fair, a civic engagement expo where dozens of organizations will be here to take advantage of the energy and enthusiasm of every volunteer that day who would be willing to commit to more throughout the year. So there are so many things that we have in store. And as we've heard, the overarching theme is around young people and the impact of gun violence on communities, finding solutions, and envisioning peace. Mayor Kenny will be leading hundreds of volunteers in a special project, and if you look over here, and you've been wondering, what is that strange structure? It's called a Dream Booth, and it is a portable structure of PVC pipe, and on the structure itself are what we call Dreamline banners, and they are expressions of values and dreams particularly of young people who want a world without gun violence. They will be constructed, 100 of those will be constructed on King Day and distributed to schools throughout the city of Philadelphia, to community centers and other organizations, along with a suggested lesson plan, and including, you see those boxes there, those are dream boxes that students will be making to store their own expressions as these travel from school to school, of kids making these banners, of expressing their hopes and dreams about stopping gun violence. You heard from Shira, from Ceasefire and Sarita, from March for Our Lives. We have our young people. We have some young people from the organization that we brought together 80 students last June to have a forum, to see what they wanted to do. We weren't there to tell them anything. We wanted them to have a discussion, to talk about these great concerns about gun violence and what they wanted to do. And out of that came an organization called Push for Peace, and they did an event on the International Day of Peace on September 21st in City Hall Courtyard, having discussions and resources and entertainment. And then the next project that they're doing now is the King Day of Service. With the students who are here from March for Our Lives, please just stand up so we can acknowledge you. And I just want to say that this whole Dreamline empire is the brainchild of Jeff Harlan, who runs this wonderful organization, which is part of the Dreamline program, as part of Cloudcloth Education. Jeff, are you here, and can you stand up so we can acknowledge you? Where are you? Jeff Harlan. Thank you. And as we know, we have our police commissioner, Rich Ross, who has been so outstanding in supporting the work that we've been doing, not just since he's been police commissioner, but for many years before that, and has been so supportive. This is obviously a huge concern of his, as it is the mayor. You may have seen in the papers recently that the mayor is not only concerned about this issue, but has brought together a whole array of people from different agencies to really address this growing problem of gun violence as a health crisis, and is working on a comprehensive plan that we're looking forward to learning about soon. So this is a collective effort on a most important issue. I want to mention, very important, we have another jobs fair, our 8th annual Jobs and Opportunity Fair, with 500 job seekers choosing among about 35 local employers with real jobs. It's so important. Dr. King was a champion of economic justice as well, and it's so important that we highlight that. And I know that Andrea Custis, the CEO of the Urban League, one of our partners in the Jobs Fair, is here. Could you just stand, please? And thank you, Andrea. And my good friend Lorraine Ballard-Marl, if you're here, from iHeartMedia, who is our other partner. Please go to our website. If you know of people who are seeking employment and soft skills, interviewing skills, writing a resume, etc., go to our website at MLK Day of Service and sign up for one of 2 sessions on King Day here at Girard College. And also, Michael Albaugh from the Philadelphia Orchestra is here. Would you stand, please? We are so thrilled that for the 5th year running here at Girard College, but the 29th time, the Philadelphia Orchestra has had their King tribute concert. That will take place in the chapel building at 1:30, and it is a free event, and the tickets will, and this actually is a very special event because Yannick Nezek-Zegan, the director of the Philadelphia Orchestra, will be conducting. Tickets will be available starting in 45 minutes. So if you go to philorg.org, I believe is the website, you can sign up for tickets. They're general admission, first come, first serve. They're limited to 4 per household, and doors will open that day at 1 o'clock. There's so much going on, and I will stop here. I will introduce the mayor, who realizes that to really solve the great problems of this city, we have to harness the resources that we have. That means government, that means the private sector, it means communities of faith and everyday citizens. So we're thrilled that whether it's promoting reading coaches and promoting literacy, embracing the King Day of Service, and so many other initiatives, Mayor Kenny is in the lead in those efforts in the city on the civic engagement front. So one of the duties I have is to present the first King Day of Service t-shirt to the mayor, and I will ask you to come up. Mayor Kenny, let's give him a warm welcome. And here is the shirt, which is represented here on both sides. This is a depiction of the 1963 Children's Crusade, led by young people and Dr. King, and taking us to 2019 and the March for Our Lives, young people. And, as I always note on the back, very important, our great corporate citizens and organizations that support the King Day of Service. And we look forward to seeing the mayor, along with Governor Wolf and Senator Casey on King Day, who will all be out in force on this one project. Jim? Thank you.
Thank you very much, and good morning, everyone. Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here for my 3rd consecutive King Day celebration. And it really is very inspiring every year. And I want to wish, first I want to recognize the students from the 5 area schools who painted the spectacular mural depicting Dr. King, civil rights, and a world without gun violence. Let's give them another round of applause. I'd also like to thank Global Citizen for the local and national success of the King Day of Service for 24 years and for ongoing programs to promote year-round civic engagement. Today also wouldn't be possible without the more than 50 King Day of Service sponsors led by Wells Fargo, who play an active role in our city through corporate citizenship. I'm proud that Philadelphia, a city of first, is where the National King Day of Service started in 1996. Each year, we have boasted the largest and most successful effort in the nation, and this year is no exception. Just as Dr. King was a leader committed to justice 365 days a year, we must make the same commitment to being engaged in these efforts of equity and dignity every day. I have the pleasure of presenting this year the 21st Annual King Day of Service Harris Wofford Active Citizenship Award. This award is presented each year to an individual or an organization that has been instrumental through the years in embracing Dr. King's legacy and supporting the greater Philadelphia King Day of Service, and makes a tremendous difference in the community year-round. I am pleased to announce that the 21st Annual King Day of Service Harris Wofford Active Citizenship Award is presented today to Ready, Willing, and Able. Ready, Willing, and Able started in 2001, is a nonprofit housing, employment, and social service program that works with Philadelphians facing serious social and economic barriers. Ready, Willing, and Able's comprehensive approach to tackling homelessness includes providing dormitory-style transitional housing, paid work, some of which is with the City of Philadelphia, as well as vocational training, adult basic education, and job placement services. Ready, Willing, and Able's comprehensive program helps men realize their potential and become productive, contributing citizens. So please join me in congratulating Ready, Willing, and Able as the winner of the 21st Annual Harris Wofford Active Citizenship Award. And I would like to ask Executive Director Ruth Salters to come to the podium to accept the award.
Wow. Whew. It's so unexpected. I consider myself the person behind the scenes. I'm just thankful for the opportunity to be able to work with a group of staff who really think about people. I'm thankful for the opportunity to be able to help brothers who want to get back on their feet, who don't just want a hand out, but want a hand up. Ooh, this is too off guard. That want to change their lives, that want to go back home to their families, that want to do something different. I'm at a loss for words. And they'll find this rare for me. But I'm just thankful that people around the city see what we do and continue to give us the opportunity to assist others in changing their lives and being able to get back home to their families and continue to build relationships, not just with their families, but what I say is outside family as well. Thank you.
You know, when we do this award, the recipient does not know they are getting it, and which is one of my favorite things because I get to just look at the award winner as the mayor is announcing it and to see the expression on their face. Ready, Willing, and Able is an incredible organization. You've seen them. The men in blue are here. Would all the men in blue please stand up and be acknowledged? The first time I ever saw the men in blue, I was driving down King Drive, and they were out working hard in Fairmount Park, and I wondered, who are these folks? And one day I stopped, and I found out, and it actually led to me getting more involved with RWA. I was once on their board, and they provide such an opportunity to a great bunch of men to get back on their feet and to be really successful citizens, as these guys here are. So we're really indebted to you, not just for who you are, but the contributions you make to the city of Philadelphia. So thanks, guys. And with that, this year we have a new lead corporate sponsor, as I mentioned. Wells Fargo is on the front lines of so many different things, and we've been working at Global Citizen with them on a big literacy initiative around the city, training reading captains to work block by block with people to provide the opportunities for young people to read independently by grade 3. Wells Fargo has been on the front lines of this as an organization, but as an individual, Aldustis Jordan, one of our co-chairs and senior vice president at Wells Fargo, has been really extraordinary. So I'd like you to give a warm welcome to the senior VP at Wells Fargo. We call him AJ. AJ?
Well, good morning. Good morning. It's a great morning. I'm so honored to be with you on behalf of Wells Fargo, but more importantly, on behalf of all the sponsors. I want to say it's great to be here. Again, honored to be here as part of the King Day of Service. I want to first and foremost congratulate the Harris Wofford honoree, Ready, Willing, and Able. Again, another round of applause for you guys. We've had a chance through the Wells Fargo Foundation to partner with you and the Doe Fund, so congrats, well deserving. And of course, thank you, Todd, for all your leadership for the past 24 years. It's amazing, amazing. But really, I want to thank the planning team for the core theme this year of addressing the youth violence that plagues too many of our neighborhoods. You know, 50 years ago, Dr. King said, "Darkness cannot drive out darkness, only light can do that. And hate cannot drive out hate, only love can do that." And as we reflect on the issue of gun violence, I think we all recognize that much of the darkness and much of the hate that Dr. King referred to is fueled by the devastating effects of racial inequity and intergenerational poverty and sense of hopelessness that too many of our young people face today. As a group of thoughtful leaders and citizens, all of us here today, we have the opportunity and collective power to follow Dr. King's wisdom because we already know many of the solutions to address this issue and shed light. We know the most effective ways to combat gun violence is a good job and a high-quality education and increasing career and economic opportunities and instilling a sense of hope in young people. And most importantly, and this was said really powerful earlier today, listening to people in the community, and most importantly, listening to young people, the young people here today, to hear about their solutions and their ideas for addressing this issue in their neighborhoods. That's the most important thing. So the light and the love that we will use to drive out the hate and darkness of gun violence and really community violence of all types starts with all of us, and it starts with the citizens who will give their time and talents on January 21st for the 24th annual King Day of Service. So as Dr. King said, anyone can be great because everyone can serve, right? Everyone can be great because anyone can serve. I look forward to serving with all of you in just 12 short days, right, Todd? And together we'll work towards solutions to uplift and empower our city for years to come. Thank you, and see you on the 21st.
Thank you, AJ. And our last speaker represents an organization that has been with us since the beginning, 24 years ago. They are the great nonprofit citizen in this country, that's true, and in this community. The United Way of Greater Philadelphia and Southern New Jersey, and I'm really pleased that for the first year as the president and CEO of the United Way, we're pleased to welcome one of our great supporters, Bill Golderer. Bill?
Todd, I want to thank you. And before I say anything else, I don't think we all adequately appreciate the amount of work that Global Citizen does. And so I want to take this moment to acknowledge your incredible leadership and great gift to make this city we all love more robust. Can we acknowledge Todd and all the team at Global Citizen? Thank you. I was sitting next to my colleague over here, and we're both blessed and cursed to be ordained pastors. And so I didn't bring a script, which is either good news or bad news. We'll see. But what I would say is before we talk about service, we have to, if we're ever going to invoke the name of Dr. King, if we're ever going to pay tribute to his legacy, if we're going to ever honor anything he ever did or what he stood for, we have to acknowledge what it was he was confronting, and that's the struggle. His life was about a struggle, and he was struggling against a stacked deck. He was struggling against inequality. He was struggling against a reality that could be changed, but it wasn't going to be changed unless he and others joined in a struggle. The United Way of Greater Philadelphia and Southern New Jersey now has focused its mission to work on the issues afflicting and affecting intergenerational poverty, but really what I would tell you is we're working on the struggle, singularly and unrelentingly on the struggle. And what I would tell you is that the struggle is real, and everybody here knows that. You're not the problem. But what I would tell you is, as we go into the countdown to this day of service, what I would recommend to all of us is that every time you read a headline, a tweet, a Facebook post that tries to tell you that the struggle is not real, I want you to think about this room. I want you to think about the people who understand and can see the things that we need to unite in the struggle against. Namely, in 1 year, Philadelphia rose from 20th to 3rd in income disparity. That is not something we should be rising against, which means people are working harder than ever, but they're not sure that their efforts are yielding fruit, stability, a sense of well-being and peace. And everyone here is part of uniting together in a struggle that relates to a sense of safety, of well-being, that the American dream that was started by one of the great citizens here at Girard College is still for them. It is for them. And so for all of us here today, what I would say is that the struggle is the first part, to acknowledge the struggle and not to deny the struggle and to say it's in your mind, because it's not in your mind. And the reason I know that personally is before I came to help lead this great organization known as the United Way, I founded an organization that is akin to our great Harris Wofford honoree this year, Ready, Willing, and Able. I founded an organization called Broad Street Ministry. And 9,000 Philadelphians who had a dream for their lives walk through that door every day pursuing that dream. And everyone here who is a part of the solution has a decision to make every day, which is, as you acknowledge the struggle, what are you willing to sacrifice? Everybody here has their own concerns. Everybody here opens up their Wells Fargo checking and says, ooh, that feels like it's not enough. Amen, AJ? Amen. Everybody here has concerns about children or relatives who have health concerns. Everybody here, unfortunately, worries about their children when they leave for school. Will they be safe and will I see them again? We all have our concerns. But it is when, and the most sacred moment in anyone's life in this room is when we look at our neighbor, our friend, our fellow citizens, and we are willing to sacrifice something of what we have to embolden their dreams, to come alongside them and invest in their future, whether it's helping them learn to read on grade level, whether it is the idea that you would go out of your way to recommend them for a job that they're not sure they're going to get, whether it's something you maybe make an investment to help them experience some income security, or you acknowledge the young people who are marching for their lives and you take time to thank them and support them in their work. I don't know what it is, but for each one here, sacrifice is the flip side of the struggle. It's not one day a year. The struggle is every day. And sacrifice is what we're called to do, not once we get our own, not once we get ourselves sorted, but it is the rhythm of our everyday. And I want you to know I am grateful for the opportunity to be serving you sacrificially as the president and CEO of United Way. Thank you.
Well, I can't think, Bill, of better words to not end on, but really to continue the struggle. And as we approached King Day in 12 days, King Day must be not just a day of volunteering, but a lifetime of serving others, of serving our brothers and sisters in this community. Two other of our great partners are the Urban Affairs Coalition. We've worked with so long, and Charmaine Matlock-Turner couldn't be here today, but will be with us on the 21st. And I see Bernard Brown, my friend, who runs the statewide effort of the Corporation for National and Community Service. So thank you for the work you do. Thank you, everyone, for the work you do to the young people as we focus on this issue of gun violence, how it affects young people, and not just talking about it, but finding solutions. So thank you again for coming. We look forward to seeing you on January 21st and every day after that. Thank you, everyone.